birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new
I don't know, man. Every time I watch that video, I just gotta like hum along to it, and I probably should be saying something clever right now, like "Welcome to Tuesday Nights" or whatever. But I'm just gonna hum along a little bit here, Jamie.
All right, you do that. In the meantime, the rest of us going to get this late model race going here at North Wilkesboro Speedway in the Good Locker Racing Late Model Stock Car Series, brought to you by Veterans for Life Foundation.
See, look at that. All I gotta do is be quiet, and Jamie's talent shines. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna go back to humming again. No. Yeah, welcome everybody here to Tuesday night. Jamie said it perfect. This is the Go Locker Racing Late Model Stock Series brought to you by Veterans for Life Foundation. We are excited to be at North Wilkesboro this week. What a cool track, man. And I mean, everybody's been talking about this track for the past 2 years since NASCAR brought it back, held the All-Star race there. iRacing brought it back as well. And Jamie, I think we've raced about every car you can imagine on this track and had a blast doing it.
Yeah, it's such a fun track to drive. Provides for a lot of good racing action. And I think the Cup Series drivers proved that during the All Star race. It's a head scratcher why NASCAR let this track go away, let it fall into disrepair like they did, to the point that they really had no choice but to move away from it. I think it was a terrible decision, and hopefully their eyes are open now, and this track has got some life being put back into it again, and the rest of the world's going to get to see what we've seen here on iRacing for the last couple of years. It's a great little short track.
It is. It is a fun track, and it's got two completely different corners. 1 and 2 is almost like a flat double apex, and you don't want to clip the grass, down low. And then 3 and 4 is more of a sweeper with a little bit more banking to it. So yeah, you've got a couple different corners, a couple different ways that you can race this track. There's a lot of grip in this track if you know how to race it. You know, a lot of cracks and seams in this thing, and if you know exactly where they're at and how to race it, you can make up a lot of really good lap time here, Jamie.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of grips in those seams. There's no grip in that grass. I can guarantee you that. So stay out of the grass, use those seams, and you can put down some competitive lap times. And passing here, probably not as bad as what we saw last week at South Boston, but
Mm,
passing here, it's tricky. You really have to set these passes up. And people can really fight you tooth and nail on that outside
mhm.
for quite a while before you can actually make that pass successfully.
Yeah, so we're in for a good race here tonight. I think we got 60 laps here at North Wilkesboro, but let's get to our starting lineup. Starting on the pole here tonight is Tanner Bethea in that number 11 car with a lap time of 18.436. So congratulations to him. Starting to his outside is Clint Walker in that 02. Starting third is Matt Knights. Good to always see him out here on track from Intensity Racing. Starting fourth is Cameron Mason. And then starting fifth is good old Davy Jones. Good to see him out here as well in that number 10 machine, Jamie.
Absolutely. Rolling off six will be the 00 of John Anthony, followed by Doug Ellingson in the 58. Starting seventh, Jamie Perkins in the Veterans for Life Foundation late model will be rolling off eighth. He's in the number 88. Brandon Barron did not qualify. He could have qualified. He is going to take the EOL for being last week's winner. And rounding out the field, starting 10th, is number 13 of Bobby Germain.
Yeah, and that is something very unique here in this series. I mean, last week's winner automatically has to start at the rear of the field. Again, it's a developmental series. We want guys to get out here and race. We want them to learn. We want new guys to learn what it's like to be out front. So we take last week's winner, we put him in the back. We get a couple new cars out front here, and we also get to see just how good Brandon Barron is. As he's going to have to fight from the back here and work his way back up front. So that should be exciting to watch there too as well. So it adds a couple different layers. Not only hey, head to the back, buddy, but we get to see him come up through the field here a little bit as we see a little beating and banging come to the green flag here. But we are getting ready to start the race. Green flag is it's out, and there they go. All right, that was an interesting start. It looks like Clint Walker to the outside there takes the lead in that 02 car. He gets right ahead of Tanner Bethea. And Tanner last week was very strong as well, so not surprised to see him back up front here again.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of good tight racing between Tanner and Brandon Barron last week. Brandon Barron just ended up pulling that out late after, I don't know, it's probably about mid-race to about the three-quarter mark that Tanner had taken the lead away from him. But Brandon just did a really good job, I guess, of saving that car and had something at the end.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. It was a fun race to watch last week and to call as those two battled it out. And then Clint Walker up here looking pretty strong here at the start. Matt Knights has kind of settled himself back into third position right now. Good to see him out there having a decent run so far. We look back at Cameron Mason and that green machine. I guess that's what we're going to call it.
The green machine.
I love it. I mean, if you were a kid growing up in the times we did, I think everybody had a green machine.
Oh, absolutely.
Too much fun there. And we take a look there at Davy Jones running in fifth position at a really cool paint scheme this week, JB. Fight like a kid in honor of childhood cancer.
Very, very nice scheme.
Yeah, take a look at the 00 John Anthony running back in sixth position. Doug Ellingson stays right now in seventh position. There's that good-looking Veterans for Life Foundation car ran by Jamie Perkins, running back in eighth. And Brandon Barron really hasn't moved up at all. He's just sitting back in ninth position right now. He's still got Bobby Germain behind him as it looks now that Brandon Barron makes the move to the outside of Perkins. Should easily clear him coming on. Ooh, Perkins gasses it back up, and they're still side by side. But move Brandon Barron up to that eighth position. We continue to try to see if he can march his way up through the field. Up front, there's been a change for the lead. Tanner Bethea out front.
We'll see if Tanner Bethea has learned anything from last week, and maybe he gets out front and just puts them away and doesn't let them get a chance to get back into it tonight. We'll keep an eye on that.
It looks like now Clint Walker's fading back here a little bit. But Tanner Bethea back out front again here tonight as we are working lap number 10 of our scheduled 60 here tonight at North Wilkesboro in the Goat Locker Racing Late Model Stock Series. Now it looks like Brandon Barron has moved himself up into 7th position. He's moved past Doug Ellingson, and Bobby Germain just kind of stays right there with him. As Brandon Barron opens up those holes, Bobby Germain goes right with him, so those two continue to march their way forward. Both of them up 2 spots from where they started.
Yeah, that's probably a very good decision on Bobby Germain's part. Just let the 42 or well, what is it? Oh, no, I'm sorry, the 20. Let 28 do all the work, and then he can just slip through there and pick the spots up.
We'll take a look back out front here as Tanner Bethea continues to kind of open up a little bit of a lead here. He's running about half a second in front of Clint Walker right now. And that's another half second back to Matt Knights. Then about another half second back to our 4th place runner, Cameron Mason. So right now those top 3 cars are within a second of each other. Running pretty similar lap times. Everybody right now is in about the 18.7s, 18.8s. So lap times have fallen off a little bit here. So we see a big wiggle out of the 02 car coming off that last corner. Well, Jamie, we're a quarter of a way through this race, and it's been all green flag.
Yeah, off to a great start.
We've talked a lot about these cars in the late model stocks and just how they drive and how they handle. And, well, for one, I'd love to be on the track here tonight. I love this track. Like we were talking about at the opening of the broadcast, I think we've run about every car imaginable here. Oop, look like Tanner's having some connection issues as he is blinked out.
Yeah, he's gone out 2 lengthy times on my end. Hopefully it clears up for him. I'd hate to see him get dropped while he's leading this thing. That's never any fun.
No, that is no bueno whatsoever. Yeah, I mean, I think I know we've run Xfinity here. I know we've run 87s here. I know we've run trucks here. Yep. I don't know. Have we put the next gen car on this track before?
I don't think we have.
Okay.
I don't think we have. We should probably try that.
I think we should. We'll throw some ideas around and figure some things out. But yeah, I mean, it does it. It provides for some really great racing. Again, you know, it doesn't really favor one kind of driver or the other because it has 2 vastly different corners. It does make for some tough passing as well, so you've really got to be able to work the car, work your passing to get up towards the front, and a lot of tire management comes into play as well. This old track will, you know, definitely rip through some tires.
Yes, for sure. So I would not be surprised again if, you know, we get a caution, you know, in the second half of this run to see somebody like, you know, Bobby Germain or Doug Ellingson come in and get tires, and it will probably make a difference for them, probably give them several spots if the people in the front half of the field don't pit. Which, you know, it's tough to give up the track position, right? So you kind of got to be in a position where you don't really have anything to lose at that point. But then it becomes a huge advantage for you.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see. I mean, this has definitely been the really good race here so far. And, I mean, we called a couple of the recruiting races or whatever, and we had a lot of cautions. And then last week we didn't have quite as many, and it went pretty quick. But, Jamie, we're creeping up on halfway here, and not a caution lap yet.
Yeah, the green flag here has definitely lasted longer than Aaron Rodgers' time with the Jets. I couldn't get that in last week because we had that first lap caution, and they're looking much better than Nick Chubb's leg. How about that?
Fantastic. I mean,
Did you see that one from last night?
I did not know. No.
Yeah, that was bad. That was pretty bad.
Oh. Wow.
One of those where one half of the leg was going in the completely wrong direction.
Ooh. Yeah, that's no bueno. That's a bad day. That's a really bad day. But all right, we'll check back in on a few of our drivers there. We'll check in on John Anthony as he continues to run back in that 6th position. And again, Jamie, I'm a little bit surprised. Brandon Barron, made it to 7th position, and that's about it. He finds himself 8 seconds behind the leader right now. Really not with the pace here tonight.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see this, and unless he's thinking, man, I won last week. These guys will kick me out in the series if I go up here and dominate again. So I'm just gonna ride around in this one. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's thinking. Maybe not. I really have no idea. I'm just talking. But yeah, definitely. I really kind of thought we would see him work his way through the field here tonight. But maybe South Boston was just his track.
That's true. I mean, that's very true. I mean, he definitely doesn't have the speed in the car to get up towards the front, as he kind of loses about 2 to 3 tenths a lap to the leader, our leader, Tanner Bethea, right now. Clint Walker's been able to stay in touch. He's lost a little bit of time to him. Now finds himself, almost a second back of our leader, Matt Knight's running 2.5 seconds back right now. So the field's kind of spread out here a little bit as we are working lap number 30 of 60 here tonight. So we are going to go just past halfway in a very quick race so far. But very impressive, though. I mean, all these cars being able to keep it underneath them. We've seen a couple cars, especially coming off turn 4, get pretty loose. And we see Jamie Perkins bring his number 88 to pit road. But everybody's been able to keep it together and keep their cars pointed in the right direction. So, and really, that's the point of this series. That's what we love to see. We love to see the progression of, we've had some bad races, a lot of cautions, car control, to, hey, we're here at North Wilkesboro, and everybody's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any damage on that 88 machine, but he's definitely taking tires right now. I don't know. He's going to lose several laps here, though, while he's doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll go on board here with our leader right now, Tanner Bethea, in that number 11 machine, as we watch him make some laps from inside the cockpit here. And again, you see him dive down into turn 3. Really, you want to get as low as you possibly can. You can hear him ease into the throttle, back to full throttle. And the flatter 1 and 2, he's chasing it all the way down to the bottom, making sure to stay off that grass. And again, back down into turns 3 and 4. So really, our leader right now he's just painting that white line down at the bottom.
Yeah, and honestly, as long as he does that, it really doesn't matter what Clint Walker does. He's not going to get around him as long as Tanner can keep that car down there. But he's putting about a tenth of a lap on the 02 right now, so his lead's just continuing to grow.
Yeah.
I see, potential battles. Davy Jones is closing in a little bit on Cameron Mason. He's now within 0.4 of a second. That gap was about holding steady at 0.7. So tighten up there for 4th place. And I think the both of them are kind of running Matt Knight's down at this point. So before this thing's over with, we might have some battles here on the track.
Yeah, as we take a look out back of Cameron Mason's machine, you will see the nose of Davy Jones get real big. Really cool paint scheme, too. He's got a Pontiac Firebird. It's always amazing to me what some of these guys can do with these cars. But really cool view here out the back of Cameron Mason's car as Davy Jones continues to try to track him down. We'll head back up front. Yeah, and Tanner Bethea has pulled out to a 1.3 second lead over Clint Walker. So that gap continues to kind of grow here a little bit. And yeah, the tightest battle on the track we got right now is, between Cameron Mason and Davy Jones, and it looks like Brandon Barron has moved up to 6th position and gotten around John Anthony. So moved him up to 6th. But still finds himself almost 10 seconds behind the leader there.
Right.
Looks like Tanner had another big blink there as it kind of messed with live timing. So we are coming up on 18 laps left to go here tonight in the Goat Locker Racing Late Model Stock Series from North Wilkesboro Speedway. And it's been green flag all the way, Jamie.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when these guys race like this, and can't really make fun of them or anything. There's not a whole lot to, not giving me any material to work with here.
No, not really. I guess it's not entirely a bad thing either, but
No,
it's
no,
gonna
it's not. It's not.
it's gonna make our job really short here tonight.
Absolutely.
But Tanner Bethea continues to set the pace here tonight, folks. Running a very strong, very clean race. Once he got himself around Clint Walker in the 0-2, he just has set sail. And like you said, JB, he continues to pull away by about a 10th or 2 each and every lap. Right now, most guys running in the 18, looks like 18.9s, 19 second. Tanner Bethea, the only one in the 18.7s right now. Everybody else almost in the 19 second bracket. So he continues to make some really good lap time. And I think for the first time here tonight, he is going to catch up to some lap traffic. He is coming up on the back of Doug Ellingson. So we'll take a look from the back of Doug Ellingson's car here. There's Doug. Yep, you can see our leader coming up on the back of Doug Ellingson right now. And this is a great camera to kind of watch the difference between the two different cars, and you can see that Tanner Bethea is getting much lower down the track than Doug Ellingson is right now. And that's where he's making up a lot of time. It looks like Doug is just really struggling to get down to the bottom, as we're going to see a pass lead here come very short, or put Doug a lap down here. And now we see him down to the inside.
Yeah, Doug's overdriving the entry, and he's not using those seams that we talked about. I know it's probably a little bit hard to show on the broadcast, but there's actually, you can kind of see the seams in the track, but you don't really pick it up great unless you're within the car itself.
Right.
But yeah, Tanner's really using the seams to his advantage, and Doug is missing them simply because it looks like he's overdriving the car on entry, because you really don't, you definitely don't see like any gain going into the corners from Tanner. So that's telling me Doug's getting in there too hard. He's missing the seams. If he would just back that corner up a little bit and use those seams, he would, because he's not far off. Just a little bit here, but on this track, it don't take a whole lot to, before you're going to be put a lot down. So.
Yeah, and you can see here from Tanner's in-car, a little bit better view here from his cockpit. You just kind of see, we keep saying seams, and for those that don't quite understand what we're saying, we're not talking about the white dotted lines, and you can kind of see they're almost like cracks. It's where the pavement kind of comes together, and you can see the darker line that runs through the center of the track there, and they're different ones. So really, here in 3 and 4, you really don't want to be all the way at the bottom. You want to be on that bottom seam. Left tire's on that bottom seam. Here running through 1 and 2, it's kind of the same thing. You can see him work that seam and then be on the white line there. So there's grip in different lines to be had, but that is definitely the fastest way around North Wilkesboro.
Yes. And it's the one that your car is going to feel the most comfortable, especially on corner exit at both ends of the track. If you're inside those seams or above those seams, getting back on the gas can be really treacherous. The car is going to want to, the back end's going to want to come around on you, but as long as you keep it on that seam, you can pretty much gas it up when you want to, and it will hold.
As we now see Tanner Bethea work around John Anthony, who's been into the fence a couple different times. We have less than 5 laps left to go here tonight, Jamie.
Wow, this has gone quick, folks.
Yeah, we really didn't have a chance to talk about much of anything except for the action on track here. And again, I mean, Tanner's drove a hell of a race here tonight. He now finds himself
Absolutely.
with a 3.5-second lead over the field. Brandon Barron, last week's winner, has worked his way up into 6th, and he may get to Davy Jones in 5th. As actually, we have 3 cars right now going to battle it out here for that 4th position. So we'll kind of keep an eye on here as Tanner Bethea is kind of checked out. This is definitely the best battle on the track so far. And the laps continue to wind down here, folks. Only 2 laps left to go here tonight. And it's going to be a tight little battle here for 4th position. As Davy Jones gets into him a little bit. Not bad. That's going to drag Brandon Barron up here as well.
Mm-hmm.
Davey sends it off into the corner, kind of moves him. Oh, boy, he comes off the corner a little loose. Him and Brandon Barron get together. Not bad, though. But Brandon might work his way up. Oh, and he kind of hooked him off the corner. White flag has already come out. Oh, Bobby Germain piles in. And everybody kind of scrambling here a little bit to get their cars turned around. As that was a big accident there on the backstretch coming to the checkered flag. But Tanner Bethea has won here tonight. We'll go back and take a look at this here in a little bit. But congratulations to Tanner Bethea. But man, we had some action on the backstretch there on that last lap, Jamie.
Yeah, we did. Have to look at it again. I'm gonna probably have to put that one on Davy Jones. Looked like he got into the 28 and they got turned, and then that collected the. Why am I missing it?
42, Bobby Germain. Oh, there you go. Look,
Yeah.
Jamie, we got burnout. We got a burnout.
Oh, I guess they listened from last week.
I mean,
Good job, Tanner.
yeah, what a strong run tonight for Tanner and a great win for him. But let's go back and take a look at that last lap action there because that was wild. We'll catch it here the best we can, and let's see. We're going to see them battling side by side here. We'll slow it down as it looks like Davy Jones is getting really loose coming off the corner in the 20. Yeah, he is sideways coming off that corner and just got the 28, clipped him. Brandon, well, I mean, puts him up into the air a little bit, catches Cameron as well. Cameron Mason gets caught up into that. Looks like Cameron's able to just drive away, even though the 28 was on top of his roof there for a little while. And then here comes poor Bobby Germain. It ends up sending Davy Jones around again. So, yeah, Davy Jones on the outside just trying to hold on for that position right there and gets loose, collects up the 28. And tough break for a couple of those other cars that got kind of involved in that. But
yeah, I mean, honestly, we just ran 59 laps at that point without any issues. And we probably should have seen that a couple more times tonight. So great job by everybody. That was definitely a racing incident, nothing intentional there. Just, last lap fighting for everything you can. But, great win by Tanner and, really a good job by everybody in the field tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, man. What a race. And, yeah, I mean, racing stuff happens, and that was definitely a racing deal. But what a race. And a lot of fun to call it here tonight. And always fun when we come to North Wilkesboro as well. So, but hey, we got some podium finishers to talk to. So looks like we got Matt Knights and Tanner Bethea waiting on us. So we'll go ahead and grab a hold of Matt Knights here. And hopefully this week he doesn't bust our butt about hats. I mean, like he was a little hostile last week.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. So all right, let me drag him up here. Hey, Matt, it's Pat and Jamie up at the booth. You got a copy?
What's happening, fellers?
Well, life is good, my friend. I will give you this. We will warn you if you mention anything about hats and how we're not providing hats and all the other kind of crazy stuff. We will disqualify you from next week's race.
Promises.
Well, I'm just saying. But man, good run for you here tonight. I mean, green flag the entire way. I know you found yourself about 7 seconds back of the leader, but I mean, a strong podium finish here tonight. So talk to me about your race here tonight and how that car felt going around the track.
It felt really good until actually it felt good all race. Probably left, I think it was 37, between 37 and 40. She started tightening up and didn't want to turn a whole lot. I mean, for me, going into this, my strategy was just save tires. I was hoping this would go green the whole way, and it did. So, if I was looking saying, okay, if I could just run 18.8s, 18.7s, I know tires are going to fall off a couple tenths towards the end, and hey, it worked out great for me. I mean, I loved having, the car in front of me 3.5 seconds ahead and the car behind being 3.5 seconds behind. So I was like a lone wolf.
Hey, Matt, it's Jamie, man. Congratulations on another podium finish. That's, 2 in a row to start the season. Great job there. Take us through, we saw several different lines being used tonight from guys. So take us through what you were using on the track. What cues were you using to get around here tonight?
I was kind of playing around during practice a little at where to go in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And for me, going high into 1, low out of 2, and then just hugging the rail on 3 and 4 seemed to be working okay. I couldn't keep up with Tanner. I mean, he was on a different level, which was fine by me. I'm just running my race and doing the best I can. And yeah, thanks for the shout out there. I mean, 2 podiums in a row for me that's an accomplishment. I'm pretty proud of that.
Yeah, man. Well, you've been strong so far running in the late model series here, and yeah, congratulations again on 2 podium finishes here in a row. As you kind of look back on the first 2 races, I mean, what types of things have you learned about the car and what you can do with it and what you can't do with it?
Well, it's just getting seat time in it. It can be a little snappy. This tonight was a lot of throttle control, especially getting off the corners. If you got into it a little too much too quick, you were going to lose the rear end. Each track's got its own character. This happens to be one of my favorites. This in Langley. But yeah, it's really just seat time and getting practice time in. If you happen to have that kind of time on your hands.
Absolutely, man. That's what it seems to come down to, is having time available to get to work in. So again, man, great job on the podium finish. Anybody you need to thank? Shout out sponsors.
Hey, my smoking hot, beautiful wife giving me a kitchen pass to sit in the chair here and let me do this. Big shout out to everybody at Goat Locker. Top-notch organization, great group of fellers. Can't say enough great things. If they had some hats in the store, that'd be another thing. But
here we go. All right, man.
They are sharp-looking hats, by the way. I'm still ready. I got a back order, so I'm just saying.
Check this out, man. So our sponsor, Jam Printing and Promotion, does all our promotional items. They do our dog tags, our hats, our T-shirts, all those different types of things. And I just met with them last week. We have new hats on orders. So if you're in love with the old hat, I'm going to hate to disappoint you, because you have to know here at Goat Locker, we change the hat design every single time. Not really sure why we do that, Jamie. We just do. I guess it makes the old ones like collectibles. That's why we're doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. They're valuable. Put them on eBay.
Yeah.
Hey, is it safe to say that Pat made that decision and told you about it later, Jamie?
Whoa.
Basically, yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
No.
Just
No. Everything we do is, believe me, is back and forth 500 times before we ever get settled in on what we're actually going to do.
Yeah, we pretty much text like 2 16-year-old girls. It's kind of crazy. But but no, we got some new ones coming out. I think everybody's going to be super impressed with them. Matter of fact, we've got a few things coming. We got some T-shirts coming as well. So I just need you to calm down, Matt. That's all I'm asking. Just calm it down, and believe me, all your dreams of Goat Locker swag will come true very shortly.
It sounds like you may be a little more excited than I am right now. I'm not sure.
Well,
these must be some really sexy hats.
Well, a lot of work goes into this stuff, and when you finally get to the end, part of it, you get pretty excited about it. And plus, I mean, they're hats, and who couldn't use another Goat Locker Racing hat?
Well, I could use one. I don't know about another, but one would be
I
great. I mean,
I
I got a
should've saw-
back order of about 8 right now.
Yeah, I should have saw that one coming. I walked myself right into that joke. All right, congratulations to you, Matt. Congratulations on a podium finish. I'll make sure at least 10 other people get a hat before you do. So awesome talking to you again.
I love it.
And brother, we'll see you on track next week.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much.
Yep. I knew he was going to do it, Jamie. I knew he was going to do it to me.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Him and old Petey.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things too. You got to feel good about it. People want to have our stuff and support our veteran nonprofit and things like that. So, I can't say too many bad things about it.
Nah.
But well, it doesn't look like Clint Walker wants to be interviewed by us. Not sure why. We didn't get Brandon Barron last week either, the race winner. He just bounced with no burnouts, no nothing.
Well, he better be there. Is he there tonight?
Well, he didn't finish on the podium tonight, so.
Oh, that's true. Well, where's Tanner?
Well, Tanner's still waiting in the waiting room, but we have no Clint Walker here tonight, our second place finisher.
This is what I'm gonna do with this. I'm gonna put the blame squarely on Jake Ellingson, who is the director for the late model series.
Yeah.
Apparently, he has not gotten the word out to his drivers that the top 3 need to stick around for post-race interviews. I see Clint Walker down at race comms. We can just go
is he?
grab her. Yeah, I see him down there now.
Well, he just decided not to come up to the waiting room.
Yes.
All right, fair enough. I'm grabbing him.
Grabbing game up here.
Hey, Clint's patting Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy? Hey, Clint, are you even awake?
Yeah.
Hey, there he is. Hey, man, hell of a race out of you here tonight. Great second place finish. Saw that 02 up front, leading some laps here at the beginning as well. So kind of take me through your race here tonight and how you're able to bring it home in second place, buddy.
Well, I was really trying to just take it easy at the beginning. But I figured maybe his tires were going to come off a little bit, and I was going to be able to catch back up. But I think it's actually my tires came off a little bit, and I did get the speed that I thought I was going to get at the end or consistently. But I think I was staying in the 8s and the 9s, so I don't think I fell off too bad. I think he just stayed about a 10th ahead of me the whole time. So it was a good race.
Hey, Clint, this is Jamie, man. Congratulations on the second place finish. Be your first race of the season this week, so great job with that. Yeah, man, we were seeing the same thing. He had you by about a 10th lap. That was about it. So you were definitely there with him. We saw some different lines being used tonight. What kind of cues were you using on the track to help you get around North Wilkesboro?
Well, I was basically trying to take it easy getting into the corners. I was trying to see if I needed to lay off the brakes and get this glided into the corners. And I was also doing it with the brakes. I really didn't see a difference. But that was I enjoy North Wilkesboro. I really do. It's a good track. You got some room to move around. You can actually go race beside each other and still and have really good competitive races where you're not hitting each other. This is probably the first time I've had actually a little bit of speed involved, so this is great. I really enjoyed tonight.
Well, man, it looked like you did. I mean, you ran a great race here tonight. Very competitive. So I think this is your first race here in the late model stock series. So tell us your thoughts about the car and what you can do with it, what you can't do with it, how it feels behind the wheel of it.
Well, yeah, I'm still getting used to it. I've only been doing this for about 3 months. So I really enjoyed the late models. I was trying to start out with some other things before I jumped into the late models. But I find it that it's very consistent. I would love for it to have a little bit more power than it does sometimes. To help passing and stuff when you're really handling really well. Because some tight tracks, not this one, but some of these tracks, when you're a little bit low in power, it's hard, even though you're handling a lot better than some of these other guys.
Yeah, all good points, Clint. Again, man, congratulations on the second place finish. Anybody you'd like to thank? Shout out sponsors.
Well, yeah, I like to shout out to, I got a couple companies I got on there, high caliber, but I also like to shout out to my lovely wife who decides to go do trivia on Tuesday night, so I get to go race.
Nice, man. I love it. I love it, man. Well, congratulations on the second place finish here tonight. Looking forward to having you out for the rest of the season, and we'll see you next week, brother.
All right, see you. Bye.
All righty. Everybody thanking their wives here tonight. That's I suppose that's a good thing, right?
That is. Again, maybe I should thank mine. She's asleep on the couch, so I can come in here and do this. So, thanks.
Yeah. Shout out to Christina. That's actually thankful I'm up here and not messing with her. Once you've been married as long as me and Jamie have, your wife does not care anymore. They want you to go away. So they still love us, I think. But hey, let's grab old Tanner Bethea here. Hey, Tanner, it's Pat and Jamie up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, congratulations, race winner. I know last week you were real close to winning that race, and this week you said there's not going to be any doubt about it. I'm going to go out there and just put a whooping on the field, and you absolutely did. So talk to me about your race and really what clicked with you in this track.
Well, during practice, I figured out, like y'all said, that groove at the bottom of the track is definitely the fastest. And that seam y'all are talking about, if every corner I'd go in, I'd try to get a little high, and I'd tell myself I want my tires to be right below that line. So
All right, Tanner. Well, man, congratulations on the win. You just kind of took away what I was going to ask you, because that's why I've been asking everybody what cues you were using. You just answered that. So, man, I guess give us your thoughts on North Wilkesboro. I mean, obviously, it seems like you like this place. Is this one of your better tracks?
no, sir, it isn't. I mean, I like the track. I like to race here sometimes, but it's definitely not my go-to track. I mean, the track is fun to race. It's very competitive. You can race beside people. You can actually have a good race without getting into each other because there's a bunch of room, and especially with these cars since they handle so well. Like South Boston last week, it wasn't really a good track. It was a kind of like a beat and bang track.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the late models and things like that, and being on some of these short tracks, we're going to have some of that. But I would agree with you. This track is very competitive, a lot of fun to race, and you sure put on a show here tonight. So, Jamie's getting ready to ask you a question, but I'm going to ask the question before the question. Actually, I'm just going to make a statement because I'm just going to assume you're not married, so you don't have a wife to think. Is that a good assumption to make?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, fair enough then. Then you're my guy. Congratulations on the win here tonight, but take it away, Jamie.
Yeah, so again, man, congrats on the win. 2 weeks in a row you've been on the podium. So anybody you want to thank, shout out, sponsors?
I thank my dad and mom and Goat Locker Racing for letting me come out here and even getting a chance to race with anybody else. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome, man. Appreciate the shout out, man, and another really strong run. Looking forward to seeing how you run each and every week and compete for these wins, man. A man of few words. I like it. Sometimes it makes the interview a little awkward, but that's okay. Yeah. All right. So let's bring up the schedule here. Talk a little bit about what we got going on. But yeah, I mean, what a race, man. I mean, you come into some of these races, and again, caution laps don't count, and we do that on purpose. That way, these guys get as much green flag racing as possible. We do things like, race winners get moved to the back, allow other people to move up front. And I don't know what it is, the car track combo, but these guys really, were super impressive here tonight, Jamie.
Yeah, it was. We've discussed it before the race even started. I felt like they had an opportunity tonight to have more green flag racing than what they had last week at South Boston. It's definitely a tricky track. It's so small, everything's so packed in together. But I did not think that we were going to have a caution-free race tonight. So hats off to these guys. Amazing job by everybody. I didn't even see anybody really get too far out of shape until we had the last lap incident. I mean, there were some guys that got a little bit loose off the corner, but I mean, nothing drastic. It wasn't anybody like, you know, banging off the walls or anything like that. The race was really clean.
Yeah, and it seemed like the guys really figured out the track. You know, talking to Tanner there, I mean, he figured out where these seams were and where his car was working. And I think a lot of guys are really starting to figure out the car here a little bit. You can definitely tell these guys and these drivers are putting in the time, energy, and effort. I know some of these guys, you know, Cameron, I know you're helping coach him up. I think Doug Ellingson was sitting with Joe Yates, getting coached up a little bit. You know, so I know some of these guys are working with some different coaches and more experienced drivers to really hone in on their racecraft. So you can see those things starting to pay off. Now we're going to say all these great things, and then next week we're going to move to Hickory, and it's going to be a dumpster fire, Jamie.
Yeah, look, Hickory, you're right back in the same
Yeah.
boat we were in South Boston, maybe
Yep.
even a little bit worse at Hickory. But you know, hey, let's see if we can take the lesson we learned in South Boston, take the lessons we learned from tonight, and you know, put forth another good quality race next week. We'll definitely be willing to put money on the fact we are not going to have a caution-free race next week.
No,
But
sir.
would like to take this moment to shout out to Joe Yates, who just gifted a sub to uh, Lady J. So thank you for that, Joe. And for those that don't know, Lady J is Ryan Pendleton's mom, and they are our Wednesday night title sponsor with Cruising Classics. So thanks to both of those guys for being in the stream tonight. We appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to have Cruising Classics out here, and we're going to put on a heck of a show tomorrow night in the Next Gen series with Cruising Classics, and they've been just an outstanding sponsor. I mean, we got some T-shirts in that we're going to be giving away here very shortly. We were talking about that pre-race and all kinds of fun stuff, but as we look at the late model schedule here, yep, next week we're going to be at Hickory. A very small little track, very loose coming up off the corners. It's going to be really interesting to see how these late model stocks perform there. And then we're going to head off to Lanier, and then we're going to finish up the first part of the season at USA Speedway on October the 10th before we take a break there. But a lot of great tracks coming up here. Can't wait to go to Milwaukee. I think the Coliseum is going to be an awesome race in these cars as well. But thanks to Veterans for Life Foundation for being the sponsor here. Our other sponsors are Jam Printing and Promotions, as we were talking about before, and then Cruising Classics. But tune in next week. We'll be at Hickory Motor Speedway. But of course, always tune in each and every week to each and every series. Tomorrow night on the V Speed Network, we do have the Cruising Classics Next Gen series. And then on Thursday night, we do have our premiere series, the Truck Series, on NASRA 360, which you can find them on YouTube as well. So please tune in, give us a shout, give us support, find us on TikTok, Facebook, you name it. Go to our website. If you have not gone to our website recently, it has been renovated and redone. It's actually quite impressive. The compilation of a couple different people, a lot of work by Jamie and I. But looking pretty sharp there. And then again, we always play our intro video or hype video or whatever before each one of these broadcasts. But you should be at least watching that 5 times a day, like easily.
At least, yes.
Yeah, let's we'll start a grassroots effort. Me and you, Jamie. We're gonna make that thing go viral. I don't know what that actually entails. You know, I don't know if it needs like a million views or whatever, but I think we could do it.
Absolutely.
Or probably not. One of the two. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in again. We'll see you all next week, and we'll definitely see you tomorrow night in the Next Gen series and Thursday night in the Truck series. Take care.